The 2025 Environmental Steward Award winner is Mark Schleisman of M&M Farms from Lake City in Calhoun County. Growing up on his family's diversified livestock and row crop farm, Schleisman would eventually make his way back to the farm.
But when I went to college, I went for ag business. I kind of thought I had enough experience in animal science and agronomy. I just wanted to get the business side, always thinking I was going to come back to farm. When I graduated from college in the early 80s, it wasn't really the time to come back to the farm. So I took a job as an agronomist in western Nebraska. I worked out there for about 9 years. Then I was hired as the agronomist for a popcorn company and managed their growers and the growing and processing of the popcorn. In about 2011, my dad and uncles were ready to retire, and my son-in-law, they wanted a farm, so we came home to farm. Farming full-time since 2011, bought my dad and uncle's operation out, hogs and cattle and crops, and been here ever since.
As a third-generation farmer, Mark demonstrates his commitment to the land through the many practices implemented on both the livestock and row crop side of the family operation.
We're pretty diversified on the crop side as well. We have popcorn, corn, soybeans, and seed popcorn. We started cover crops back in 2010-11 and really didn't know we were doing cover crops when we first started because we would plant a patch of rye and we'd calve our cows on it in the springtime. Then when cover crops kind of became a little bit of a topic of discussion, we started expanding that a bit more, primarily for the livestock to graze in the spring. But we also started then seeing some of the soil and water benefits, and we've since expanded it to all 5,500 acres that we grow of corn or soybeans or popcorn.
Living along the Raccoon River, M&M Farms is especially mindful of protecting water quality and the wildlife that comes with it.
I think at this point we probably have 5 or 6 bioreactors and 3 or 4 saturated buffers. We have filter strips pretty well along every waterway that we have. If we can put a filter strip there, we do. We have some upland bird habitat, and then we also have some butterfly habitats in 2 or 3 different spots. Every time we buy a place or get more access to land, we'll evaluate where we can put saturated buffers or bioreactors or filter strips. You know, when I was a kid, I'd go fishing in the Raccoon River and I would catch carp and maybe a catfish every now and then. Now we catch bass and walleye and all kinds of game fish that never used to be there. I gotta think the water quality is better to support that fish life that's there.
For Mark, the reasons for being an environmental steward are simple.
The biggest reason is we live here. I mean, so, you know, we love wildlife. Sons like to hunt and fish. We drink the water. You know, we don't buy bottled water. We drink the water that comes out of the ground underneath our farms. And I want to leave the land better than it was when we got it. Part of sustainability is not just maintaining or improving the environment and the soil, but it's also being profitable.
Schleisman promotes land stewardship by hosting field days to show others what is possible.
I just do it mainly for awareness, not necessarily to show off, but showing what can be done. There's systems in place, whether it be the pork producers or the NRCS, that do the paperwork for you and the legwork for you. You just have to kind of participate. And we try to show that so that people will consider doing it. It's not a problem that's going to go away when you look at the environment. We only need to improve it.
While environmental stewardship guides his work, Mark reminds us that family is the foundation of M&M Farms and his proudest achievement.
It's a great place to have kids and grandkids outside, and my kids wanted to come home and farm. You know, in high school they weren't all that involved in the farm. They were more athletically oriented, but they obviously thought it was the place to be because they're here farming with us now, the ones that can. And I see the grandkids doing the same thing because they're here all the time. They want to be out here working. And not just working, but enjoying it. Probably the proudest thing is that they're here and they want to be here.